We good?
Boom. Yep, we're good. What's up, everybody? I am here with Ty Curry, who was formerly fighting out of Copper City Combat and is now fighting out of Redhawk Academy. Super cool with Tim Welch and Sean O'Malley. Now you have improved your record since we spoke last time to 4-0, and you're from Butte, Montana originally, correct?
I just trained out of Butte. I'm originally from Valier, Montana.
Ah, got you. Okay. So first of all, tell us about the transition. I mean, right now, I feel like the whole world is talking about Redhawk Academy. Tommy McMillan just smashed it last weekend. Obviously,
Yes,
we
he
all know
did.
Sean O'Malley, but then you've got a lot of up and coming stars there, JoJo Griffin as well. Tell
Yes.
like what's it like being a Redhawk right now?
It's popping. It's very competitive, high pace. Um, Honestly, it's right where it belongs, I think. That's how I feel about it. Getting in cage rounds with pro athletes, pro fighters, a lot of people come around from other gyms to train with us, so we're getting a lot of good looks. Um, but the main MMA group is solid. So it's the biggest change is probably the amount of people, the amount of partners, and just they're all high level. So it's been a grind. It's been awesome.
Do you notice immediately from the transition that, again, obviously we know Copper City Combat, we love Copper City Combat
Great gym,
at
yeah.
Fusion Fight League, amazing gym, but you're talking about more, I feel like you're more talking about the competition you're surrounded with, maybe sparring partners, maybe things you're picking up from like all the team atmosphere. What have you noticed in terms of your abilities? Like, what are some of the things that you've noticed that have grown the most?
I'd say my striking.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been working a lot on my striking and jits. I mean, we do a lot more rolls down here than I was used to. I think I'm doing jujitsu, no gi, at least once every day, if not twice. So it's in that regard, there's just more training hours. Um, but there's a lot of coaches too. We got Jakar Klaus and his wife. Obviously Tim, Coach Mike, Coach Mark for wrestling. Um, there's a solo for conditioning. So there's just a ton of coaches, and you just keep showing up and take a little bit of input from all of them. And it's kind of where I'm growing the most is just with partners with a lot more looks and tough rounds.
One thing that I've always admired about Sean O'Malley is he talks about how he lives his life outside of training, that he's all about red light therapy, he's all about cryo. I think he has an entire, he says he's has the best sleep in the UFC. He says this all the time, which I think is really, I think it's amazing that he focuses on all those intricacies and just treats his entire body like a tool of war. What can you talk about that coming into Red Hawk Academy? What are some of the new protocols that you've adapted or incorporated into your daily life?
Nothing new. I've been on Coach Shea out of Copper City's been he's the one that taught me how to cut weight properly. And it's kind of the same plan as it is here. And as far as diet goes, they're not too strict on, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. So they're not too strict. They preach good things, they're good mentors and they have a lot of good suggestions. I actually live with Sean's assistant filmer, so he's always with Sean, and there's definitely healthier options and things that we try to do as well as possible in camp, and then celebrate a bit after. But honestly, yeah, Kyler's really, really strict with his diet. And so living with him and being in camp with him together makes it easy to make those meals.
Stay on
All
point.
that stuff.
I totally get that. And talking about, just quickly want to talk about Tommy McMillan, because I know me and Justin, we talked about the fight on Monday and we were so impressed with the performance. Obviously, he's now at the highest level and he's still doing what he was doing back in Fusion. He's still
Yeah.
smashing people in round one.
Correct. Yeah.
What's the mood like in the gym when he came back on Sunday or Monday or whenever he came back into training? What was the atmosphere like for you guys being a team?
It was electric. I think we put in. Tommy had a great camp. He works insanely hard. Getting to see what he does for conditioning and just conditioning rounds, comp rounds, sparring, all that. Being with him through that was amazing for me. Just crazy, crazy intensity. I think going into that fight though, we all knew he had that 1-1. Just confident. He had good camp, and he's a dog. Obviously, you guys have seen him. Um, and this pressure is just very hard to deal with. Yeah, he's a problem. I'm actually super excited. So Sean and Tim were supposed to come out with us, but they got meetings in Vegas this weekend. So Tommy and Coach JJ
Oh,
submits for Tommy and me and Kyler and all the team pretty much.
sure. Yeah, I
So
know.
they're gonna corner us.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, I've talked to
Yeah.
JJ before. I've interviewed him before. All right,
Hell
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you now. So you got a pretty fired up opponent, I gotta say, Chad Stevens. I want to tell you about some of the things that he's mentioned to me in his interviews. He was scheduled last time in our last event to fight somebody out of Redhawk, Jojo Griffin, I believe, if I remember that correctly.
Hmm.
And I believe, if I remember correctly, Jojo had a fever. He had a very high fever. He was very sick,
Yeah.
right. So he had to pull out at the last minute. Chad was fired up. He really wanted that fight, and I think he's definitely chomping at the bit to now have a fight against you, I guess, in terms of taking on this match this weekend. So he's really fired up. He wants to fight. I think he specifically wants to fight somebody from Redhawk Academy. What does that say to you? Does that get you excited as well? That he's so excited, or you're just like, hey, I'm even keel. I don't even pay attention.
I mean, I don't really pay attention, but I'm glad he's excited. I'm excited. I brought a big fan base. It's gonna be huge crowd, so it'll be fun. We'll see. Um,
How many people you
nah,
got coming?
uh, over 200 at least.
What? Really? Oh, snap.
Yeah,
That's wild. Okay. All right. So
yeah,
we'll definitely get a big you'll definitely get a big pop from the crowd. I
yeah.
think it's going to be a great fight. Chad is a very game opponent. Like I said, he's eager, he's ready. He wants
Hell
to get
yeah.
in there and yeah, it's going to be a great one. And I know the cool thing is he gets so fired up, but then he will definitely show good respect afterwards, and so that's what this is all about. Is there anything in particular you've been working on since your last fight? Any skills that you've really focused on trying to develop leading up to this fight?
Just my striking and finishing. I just want to get a finish this fight. Honestly, I need a finish and good performance. Move on to the next. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned in a previous interview, you talked about your foundation in wrestling, but you said your long-term vision is eventually to get to the UFC. Has that solidified any more in your mind in terms of maybe not the UFC just yet, but when you want to potentially go pro?
No, we'll see how these fights play out, and just talk to Tim. Tim knows. Tim will tell me. He'll watch my fights and tell me what I need to work on, and I have faith he knows when I'll be ready. So hopefully sooner than later, though. If I get a good win here and can maybe get the 55 or 45 belt, that'd be cool before going pro, and then go pro. But we'll see. At least a few more fights, Sammy.
What are some of the things? I feel like Tim is obviously on the tear right now. He's attracting all this amazing talent. Like, what are some of the things that you saw from Tim Welch that made you want to, that encouraged you or inspired you to work with him?
It's been a goal of mine since before I started fighting. I originally wanted to come down here right away. Um, I guess just watching Sean, probably. Um, I knew that they were high level. Tim was high level, and the goals was always to come down here. But my parents talked me into staying in Montana and taking a few fights to make sure I like it, which turned out to be a blessing. Because Copper City was a great gym, and I got to learn my foundation there and under good coaches. So it was all good.
Awesome, man. I can't wait. I can't wait for this weekend. I can't wait for your fight. Let's talk a little UFC before we close out. We got a lot of exciting things. I mean, we can even talk about broadly about MMA as we got the MVP, that Jake Paul card coming up in May as well. But
Yeah,
are there any big fights or fighters in particular that you're really looking forward to watching in the next couple months?
I'm looking to that Gina
Oh yeah.
Rousey fight. Yeah,
Okay.
so I actually started competing or training in college in Bozeman, Montana.
Okay.
So I signed up for a gym there and knew nothing. And I went. My first role was with this guy. He just looked good, so I was like, "Oh, he knows what he's doing. I'll roll with him." And I got choked out. I didn't know how to tap or anything. I just like went in for a double leg, and it happened to be Kevin Ross. So he was like Muay Thai 6-time world champion, and he
Whoa.
is married to Gina Carano or whatever. So then I started going to his classes, and yeah, it's cool. I'm glad she's competing, and I hope she wins. Honestly, um, other than that, I mean, I'm excited for Strickland
Let's
Hamzat.
go. That's the fight I can't wait for.
That thing's dang. The press before that's gonna be wild.
It's gonna be insane. I've been saying people think I'm crazy, but me and Justin, we do a podcast on MMA. I've been saying that you people may not believe me yet, but this is gonna turn out to be like the fight of the decade. Because I think there's gonna be people don't realize if you're not super deep into all the back and forth with Hamzat and Strickland. Once we get into press week, it's gonna be insane. Like I think Strickland's gonna come at him so hardcore, and so I think the fight's gonna be fantastic. How do you think it's gonna go though?
Dang. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think Hamzat's gonna hold him down.
No
I
finish?
mean,
You don't think he's gonna finish him?
Strickland, he's a tough. I feel like he'd be really hard to finish, and he's got wrestling. But I mean, Hamzat's kind of. I feel like he's got a few levels above him. But
I think so.
yeah, it might be another crucifix for 25 minutes.
I think
Might
I,
be.
I think it's gonna be a fast finish. If we remember, Hamzat only had one fight like that in all of his fights. Every other fight was just aggression, smash, finish, or ground and pound very quickly. I think we're gonna see a return to that if I had to guess, but we shall see. But that's what makes it
Be
so
sick.
exciting. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Best of luck this Saturday. Looking forward to seeing you at the weigh-ins on Friday. And
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
man, absolutely.
Have a good one.
You too. Take it easy.
All right. Bye bye.